I just want to make it one statement. When you read the news today, they're going to talk about the successful trading on LYFT. They're going to talk about how they're going to use the word surge. They're going to use the word exploded. They're going to use the word, lots of superlatives with the word good, great, fantastic. Tell that to the guy that bought the open thinking that this was a real good idea. You're down 10 points right now. Thank you. But for us traders, you know, we love those levels, the 85, the 82.50, the 80. So when it double bottomed at the 80, we played it at 80 and, you know, got out at 81, held some to 82. And now we're trading right back below 79 right now. But I just want to say one thing that's really important about this. Whether this is an IPO, again, I don't care for whether or not they succeed or don't succeed. Again, I would never buy stock in really any company anymore. I certainly wouldn't buy stock in LYFT. But that being said, you realize the market's all fake. None of this is real. It's all manipulated bullshit. Let's talk about Levi's, right? Stock's been sitting around for a week. Really no reason to own it. Never really felt good about it. Got crushed that day when I thought it was going to break over 23. But what did it just do right now? And here's what I want you to take away from this moment right here. Any IPO that breaks its IPO high the day of the IPO. So today, Levi's, the high print. The high print from the other day was $23.24. The IPO high was $23.15, which still was significant. So $23.15 to $23.25. Once it broke $23.15, you're buying it because that's how IPOs work. As soon as a new high is printed, the momentum players come in, the new money players come in, people get excited again. Hey, look, here's a new IPO. It's breaking highs. Let's get involved, right? So you buy it, $23.15, $23.25. Yeah, I mean, I just looked at it as a day trade, and I sold it at $23.15. I have no intentions of ever holding any stocks anymore. So that being said, as far as I'm concerned, this LYFT is a fail. If the opening tick, your phone's in here. Here.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up? If your opening tick is pretty much your high of the day.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Venezuela? What's up, man? If your opening tick is basically the high of the day, that's not a successful IPO. That's basically they dumped it onto the public. Here, suckers, here's our shitty stock for you to suck and take from us so we can get rich. Nobody on earth, unless you are in the IPO, is making money on LYFT stock right now. So I don't want to hear about how, again, when the market gaps up 400 points and they say the market had a great rally, it was an artificial gap up bullshit move that nobody made money on. So don't call it a rally. Call it what it is. This industry is so shady, corrupt, and awful. At least call it like it is in the worst media. Again, the media is all a bunch of lies anyway. But financial media is completely just a bunch of bullshit. This whole industry is a bunch of bullshit. It would be really nice if I wasn't the only one calling it like it is. Trading to me is a video game. I want to be in, I want to be out. It's all algorithmic. This equals this. If then this. If not, then this. That is it. There's no more thought process to me. So all that being said, whether or not LYFT succeeds, no matter what you think about this company, whether it be next week, a week from now, or a year from now, when it breaks, if it ever does, 88.60, the stock will go to $100. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. No matter what you think, it will go from 88.60 to 100. And then if it breaks 100, it'll go to 120. And if it breaks 120, it'll go to $250 a share, because that's generally how it works. 80 generally gets you to that 100. 100 generally gets you to 120. If you break that 120, you're looking at a stock that generally gets to 150 easy. And then those stocks usually eventually get up to the $200 to $250 range. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying if you want to sit and you want to wait for a high probability trade, and that's the only way to make money, stick to what works. What is the highest probability of success? Obviously, if you look at Ameren today, and I'll get into that, I'm going to start launching this. I'm going to see if this works now. Again, I'm not very savvy as far as this YouTube thing is concerned. I see this 16 other guys doing broadcasts, showing their screens. I show my screen in my own personal chat room. That's where I do it. I like to talk here and invite you guys into the room. It's just another click. Okay? Right. To me, LYFT is worthless. Absolutely, completely worthless. But we've seen worthless stocks go up hundreds, thousands of % before, because it's all manipulation. It's all fake anyway. So if you buy into the fakeness of it all, then that suspends your disbelief, and then you're just buying letters and prices, which is what you should be doing, because none of this is real. The only thing that is real is the descent. Oh, by the way, I adopted a child.
It's okay, baby. Baby. Look, baby, look. Baby.
She don't like me.
Baby. Look.
Oh, you want the mama?
It's okay. It's okay.
What do you want to do? I babysit. That's how I make extra cash. Look, we're buying the LYFT IPO. No, we're not buying the LYFT IPO.
It's okay, baby.
Oh, all right, who's watching this kid? Here she comes.
Baby.
Yeah, so this market just absolutely right to the close. This has got to be one of the most bizarre days to end one of the more bizarre weeks I've seen. Just weird moves, just completely separated from reality. Everything is completely fucked up. And it never ends. It right to the close, it never ends. With 2 minutes left, it just didn't stop the whole day. It just never stopped the whole day. Absolutely insane. From Ameren breaking out and squeezing the shit out of these people, to Levi's breaking all-time highs, to Tiger Woods, just dropping the bid, and next thing you know, ripping right back to 13. From a blow-off top to a breakout, to LYFT crushing everybody at the open. It's absolutely unbelievable. The one thing that remains constant, that never fails, is UVXY going to zero. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never experienced something that's guaranteed in trading, ever, other than the fact that you could buy stocks when I sell out of them and they always go up. Other than that, trading the UVXY on the short side is where you want to be. You want to look to short that stock, no matter how you do it. Puts, naked calls, borrow the stock from a brokerage firm to short it. You're talking about something that works 99.5% of the time. You only have one or two rare instances where this stock, UVXY, trends higher. And even when it's trending higher, If you could just take a little bit of the pain, inevitably, this is a product that still nobody seems to understand. It only goes down. It only goes down. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. When you can't find a trade, UVXY short. Nothing going on the day, UVXY short. You can't find anything else to do. What do you want to hold on to? How about some UVXY short? It's incredible. It's incredible, people. It's something that is so incredible that it's so hard to believe. And I think that's the reason that a lot of people don't partake in it. You just can't believe what fell. Just like a young man coming in for a quickie. So you want to go hang out in other chat rooms, you want to get manipulated by other manipulators, or you want to be the manipulator. UVXY short. UVXY short. UVXY short. Find a way. Find a way to be short this thing. There's nothing else that works over 90% of the time than UVXY short. And on a Friday, nobody on earth wants to be involved in the complete and utter destruction of the UVXY. Especially after we had a Friday last week where the UVXY actually closed going higher because there was the Mueller or whatever. And in those moments, you got to be thinking, hey, now that UVXY is going higher, I need to find a way to short this thing on Monday. And if you can't buy UVXY, if you can't short UVXY, you want to be buying SVXY. Look how it rips into the close. Now, if you were in that 39, 50, 39 calls put spread right now, there's a nice $200 profit for you. Now, if you were gambling, again, you never want to be buying calls while the UVXY is in full descent mode. You just have to assume buy the close, and remember, the UVXY stays open for an extra 15 minutes. And in those 15 minutes, look what it's done. We're hitting new lows right now. And those options stay liquid. Those options stay open for 15 minutes. So if you were buying those $39 puts there, which went down to 7 cents, now they're trading at 25 cents. And I know you're not getting rich here, but these are the trades that if you've had a bad day, it helps the pain. If you lost some money on some other trade, you've made now some money back. Don't let the easy trade slip between your fingers. This is the most difficult thing to do in the world. Trading is hard because you've got emotions involved beyond finding the ideas, beyond all the other reasons that this is hard. UVXY staring you in the face every day, just begging you to take its money. It's incredible. It is something to behold. And I mean, to conclude this week, this is now officially the most bizarre week I've seen probably in 6, 7, 8, in a long time. Just a lot of weird shit going on. This lie that they tried to spread through the media with the inverted curve, and how that needs to be something that we're worried about. The idea that volatility is coming back to this market. And Restoration Hardware. Let's talk about Restoration Hardware because I got smoked on that stock. You know why? Because I traded it not based really off the chart, which at one point it looked good on the chart. But Restoration Hardware, considering 90% of stocks when they're gapped down, at least find some support and rally. This one was one of those that really didn't really have much. You had one moment and we were in it and it rolled over and we got stopped out. And if you're trading restoration hardware, you're well aware that you ain't getting out for a 15-cent loss. You ain't getting out for a 50-cent loss. You're generally getting fucking hosed. And, you know, we bought it at 108.99. We were up about 40 cents on the trade for a minute and then wound up getting blown out at 108. But here's the thing. We sold it at 108 and we should have got short. And that's what's the most incredible part about today. It's called the 180 trade. It's usually not a good idea. It's usually a trade that comes out of frustration. But I look at it as you're doing the right thing. The 180 trade, before I go, and I know you guys are ready for the weekend. The 180 trade, right, is that you're getting beat up on a trade and then you finally give up and you go the other way. Usually that's not a good idea. It's usually born of frustration. You're like, fuck it. If I can't make money on the long side, I'm going to go short. But today and recently, that trade's been working, which is insane. And that's why Ameren today, and I want to leave off with this trade because I've been trading 25 years and what I did today on Ameren was completely a rookie mistake, a complete mind fuck on my part. And I'll explain why. I hate the stock. I've been burnt on it way too many times on the long side. I made some of that money back shorting it over the last couple of weeks, right? 20 got me down to 17.50. And I covered. And today I came in thinking if this thing rolls over, I'm going to short it again. And the sick part of today is that I was short the stock at 18.51. And then it was at 18.26. I didn't take my profits. I covered some at 18.38, and then I covered the rest at 18.51 because there's no way in hell I'm losing money shorting Ameren. But then, my friends, the Ameren became the long of the day. Why? And if you guys are still paying attention, I'm going to try to figure out how to get this goddamn screen share to work one of these days because I don't even know where to click, really. I mean, I don't know how to do it. And you know what? I'm old. When I don't know how to figure something out one or two times, I give up. By the way, UVXY tanking. You still got 5 minutes for this thing to keep going down. You got 5 more minutes. This thing is probably going to be 37.50 by the end of this move. Nobody on earth wants to own this stock. It's not real. It's worthless. It's worth zero. It's worth less than zero. So you short it into the close, and now you're looking at these $39 puts that were 7 cents are trading at 40 cents right now, people. So if you had $70 lying around that you wanted to throw that in there, your $70 now is worth $400. Ain't a bad trade at the end of the day. What's up? What's up? What's up?
I take my
No.
Why?
You can't have the money. So the bizarre week, the emotion got in the way. Every trade, which is the sickest part of this whole conversation, is that at the end of the day, every trade worked. Every trade worked. Every freaking trade worked. And I didn't even mention the PCG breaking 1750. So that's what's insane. So let's go back to the Ameren. Why? Why didn't I buy Ameren? Because my hatred of the stock prevented me from wanting to buy it back. Is that a reason not to buy something? Absolutely not. It's actually a reason to buy something. Because I'm looking at this chart thinking, damn, this is a great buy. And I just said to myself, no, I'm not doing it because I hate the stock that much. I don't want to buy it because I don't want to root for it to go up. Absolutely destroyed my entire week not being an Ameren long. Just the fact that this trade worked out so well, it's setting me back years. Everything I know about trading, I just said, no, I'm going to be a stubborn prick about it and not trade it. This was a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal, people. If you've never seen what a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal looks like, take a look at what Ameren did at 1865 and $18.99. And this stock closed at $21. Now, I know maybe that's not a lot of money to you, but if you're buying something at $19 and this thing's got 1950 calls sitting there at 20 cents, and those options ended up at $2 today. All right? So that's a 20-cent option that closed at $2. That's 10 times your money. Now, again, you probably wouldn't have held the whole thing, but that trade was just there. Boom. And by the way, if you were looking at the lift, once it broke 80, where did it go to? 77.50. 2.5-point increments. That's how these IPOs. My friend, on the YouTube, I really have no positions on whatsoever. I'm not even short UVXY anymore, which is very depressing. I own nothing. I own nothing at all. So I have no opinion of the market except that I believe this is a trading market. And the only thing, gun to my head, if I had to own something, I do like that Tiger stock, TIGR. It's an IPO. It broke 10. It broke 12.50. Chances are it's going to 15. If I had a gun to my head, I need to own a stock. But more importantly, if I had enough money, and I'm talking about this, listen, I'm talking about UVXY. The only thing is they've now taken this product away from us. They've made it hard to borrow, more often than not, and they've turned the leverage up to 100%. So unless you have $38,000 to short it, you can't even short it. There's no margin on it. So if you want to sell a naked call, for instance, the other day, I had 3 options. I was selling the June, sorry, want to hear this? You guys paying attention? This is exciting. 3 contracts I had left, okay? $180 calls. Think about it. For January of 2020, $180 calls. 140 points out of the money. And I had to put up $8,600 to short 3 contracts, 140 points out of the money. They've taken the game away from me. I can't afford to. Again, I had to liquidate my entire portfolio to short calls in UVXY. And then imagine something bad was happen over the weekend. So you're taking all this risk, you're leveraging up to what? To what? Make a couple of $1,000? It's basically not even worth it. But if you could find this stock somehow shortable, short it. It's a great question. Why short the calls when you buy the puts? Because the puts, if you were looking at the 39s 2 days ago, they cost you about 90 cents. So let's say you bought those 39s just 2 days ago because you thought, all right, this thing's probably going down by Friday. The 39s were, I think, 80 cents. So in theory, you still lost money. Today, of course, if you did what I was talking about, buying the 39.50s for 40 and then selling the 39s for 16, yeah, you'll made some money on the put spread. And obviously, if you bought the 39 straight out for 12 cents, you did double or triple your money. But I've never seen, again, I'm passionate, I'm upset, I'm livid that we're unable to make the money that we deserve on this worthless piece of shit. Well, everybody's trying to decipher, and these guys are on their live show talking about how you got to be involved in LYFT. And you got this other guy talking about how you got to load up on SEAL, SEEL. This guy's got 355 people in his chat room, and he's screaming about buying LYFT. One guy's talking about buying LYFT at the open, and the other guy's loving SEAL today. And all I'm talking about is guaranteed money. And I get 8 of you guys to show up. But I appreciate you 8 guys. Now, next week, why don't you come in? We're starting a fresh month. I welcome you in to take that month on me. You new guys that just signed up, I appreciate it. Because this is not a course. This is not reading a book. This is not something that you're going to get in a day. Took me 22 years to get to this psychotic place that I'm at. And I still make the same mistake by letting my emotions get the best of me. But you know what? The fact that I know that a few of these guys in here traded Ameren on the long side makes me feel a little bit better. And that's what keeps my sanity. And the fact that I know whether it be tomorrow, the next day, or the next day, there's going to be another one of those trades, and I'm going to be in it, and I'm going to make some money. And of course, it'll probably go higher when I get out of it also. So, I mean, that's the nature of the game. I mean, because I know I would have sold that Ameren when I got to $20, thinking I'm a hero. Buying it at $18.99, selling it at $20, fantastic. So right now, I mean, I've never been this liquid before, and got to be since 1999. I have legitimately no positions on, except I think I still have 100 shares. Yeah, I got 100. I got to check my kit. I still think I have 200 shares of Funko because I do like the Funko. And that's it. That's it. I'm out of the VFF. I'm out of the INSG. I was thinking about holding some Tiger, but I could buy it back. Nick, I'll probably be able to buy it back cheaper anyway on Monday. Obviously wouldn't own LYFT. They're definitely not going to own Ameren. No Twitter, DDD, ICPT, Candy, none of this. WTW, Sale, Yext. Out of the Yext, Jimmy. Out of the Yext. I'm done. I don't see the point of taking any other risk except for what I could see right in front of me. And if I had to, I would load up on naked UVXY calls. But again, naked calls by nature, probably the dumbest trade you could possibly do. It's basically all risk for just a little reward. Even though the trade does work, you're taking all this risk for very minimum reward. And that's not the essence of trading. You want to take small risk for medium reward, and try not to be depressed about it when you make $250 on something and it winds up going up another $1,000. I guess that's a good problem to have, but it's very frustrating, especially after 20 years of it consistently happening. But you got to get used to it. But don't fall into the trap of saying, well, maybe I'll just hold on to this little bit left overnight. Because that little bit off left overnight sometimes for some reason goes wrong also. And then you have this inexplicable shit that happened today. I mean, there was some bizarre trades today. PCG rallying into the close. I know it's not a big move, but just for the fact that it did work. You could have bought a 1750 call if they did exist, probably for what? 1 cent. No joke. These PCGs this morning were probably trading at maybe a penny if they do trade penny increments. Nickel tops. And they close at 30 cents. That's 6 times your money. So these trades are easily telegraphed. But the thing about today in this environment right now, it just seems like you're just not getting that follow through when the follow through normally had been happening. So these last 2 weeks, something has definitely changed about this market. And what I believe is you just got to take your size down a little bit and increase your patience, because the trades have worked. At the end of the day, most of the trades that we were looking at did work, except obviously Restoration Hardware. And that's what I want to talk about one more time before I leave. That 180 trade. A lot of people say you're giving up on the trade and then you're just doing the wrong thing by flipping the script. I think you're that smart. You've realized this Restoration Hardware is not working out. So why not dump it and short it when it breaks the low range at 108? Because, yeah, of course, I have 400 shares at a cost average of 108.85, right? And I'm up on it. Next thing you know, I'm getting stopped out. And then I get stopped out of first 200. I never get out of the same position. I never get out of my entire position at once. Stopped out at 200. Then I got stopped out of the other 200. But if I would have taken that same aggression and that same 400 shares and just blasted it at 108, guess what? That's a $2,000 trade, considering where it is. probably would have made at least $800 or $1,000 knowing the way I trade and the way I would have pieced out of it. But again, the 180 trade, to me, you're doing the right thing. Like Ameren, like Restoration Hardware, and obviously with LYFT. So all that being said, this is a journey. And every day is a learning experience. And today, I was reminded of a lesson that I've been teaching forever. Don't let your emotions get in the way of a trade that you know is going to work. And that's exactly what I did with that Ameren today. Can't let that happen. Can't let that happen. Don't let it happen. And as many times as I say that, emotions and human nature, it's tough to get over. It's tough. It's a tough trade. And that's why this is hard. That's why this is hard. You could, well, depending on what brokerage firm you have. And my friend was able to get some shorts off on LYFT. Yeah, he was. We didn't. Yeah, I think you paid $1 a share to get the short off. So you were already in the hole to short the stock. But obviously it worked out for him. Shorting it there at 85 and 82.50. But listen, guys, come on. My ego is bruised at this point, considering I'm the grandfather of stock market chat rooms and streaming and all this stuff. To have these knuckleheads talking about buying LYFT at the open and SEAL, and this guy's got 360 people watching him, the other guy's got 290 people, and I got you 15 knuckleheads hanging out with me, and 50 or 40 or 50 people in my chat room that come and go. Come on, man. Let's rise up. Let's rise up. Make the warlock great again. So tell some friends. Go into those other chat rooms and tell them who's boss. I've been doing this 22 years. I can read the tea leaves better than anybody. All right? Have a great weekend. And Angela, if you're out there, you broke my heart, Angela. Toby, if you're listening, did I do something wrong? All I do is bang out my 3 or 4 winners every day. I try to keep it real. Jay, are you out there? Luke, not the other Luke. The other Luke. Luke, we spoke on the phone. You don't show up the next day. I feel like maybe I am in the Matrix right now, and that I'm going to wake up drooling on myself in a straitjacket, and that I haven't been talking to anybody this whole time, and it's all been a figment of my imagination. Maybe that's the case. But while we're in the Matrix, go tell some friends about me, because shit is real. And if you want to survive this industry, take it from somebody that has survived. Because, man, there's some bizarre shit going on. Seriously. And whether this shit house all goes up in flames, whatever the case might be, we should all be together when it happens. And let me be your leader. And then, of course, I'm going to start a GoFundMe page and run for president in 2024. But that's another story for another day. All right, y'all. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being there. Thanks for being there. All right? I will continue to try to do my best. I am getting old, but I do have a passion for this that keeps my blood boiling. And anger is an energy. And if you know what song that is, we'll put that on to close the day. It's one of my favorite songs. And let's see if I can find it right away. If anybody knows what song it is. This one's going out to everybody. Farewell. I'm going to go shoot some guns and get tattoos. Public Image Limited. Public Image Limited. I could be wrong. I could be right. I'll let this one play out. I'll see you guys.
I could be wrong, I could be right. I could be right, I could be right. I could be right, I could be wrong. I could be right, I could be black. time has come, your second skin. Because so hard again, so low. Walk through the valley. The written word is a lie.
And I give out free shirts.
Could be wrong. I could be right. Could be wrong. I could be right.
Yes. That's your box, Oscar. Go to the mailbox right now.
I could be wrong, I could be right. I could be black, I could be white. I could be right, I could be wrong. I could be black, I could be white. They put a hot wire to my head. Because of the things I didn't say. But make these feelings go away. But I'll see this in every way.
I keep it as a memento. Happy is PCG. Yeah, well, I was gonna go, but yeah, we traded LYFT today. You wouldn't believe it if we told you, but I said wait for it to test 82.50. If it gets to 82.50, maybe we buy it. But we didn't really get involved at 82.50. But then when it broke 82.50, I said look for it to hit 80, and then we could give it a shot. If it bounces off at 80, and we'll use 80 as our stop. We had 3 out of 4 winners on the LYFT. I wish I could have shorted it because when it broke 80, you knew that thing was going down to 77.50. And that's where it was. Basically, any IPO that trades over $50 generally will trade in 2.5 point increments. And that's old school trading. But to you, Oscar, I mean, the trade was sitting there. Once we got beaten up on that restoration hardware, all we had to do was hit the button again at 108. When that broke 108, it was a free-for-all. And, it's a tough trade that to flip out of your long that you just lost money on and then to hammer it short, it's a tough trade because you got to get over that emotion that you just lost. And now you're going the other way. It's a tough trade. Always has been. All right, guys. Tell 10 friends about me. Come on, man. I can't even pick fights with these guys because who am I? I get 300 views on my videos. I can't fight Jason Bond and I need an army, right? Can't be just me and my lasers coming out of my fingertips. These guys got 600 people in a room. I'm a peon now. Grandpa is like, I'm like an old has-been at this point. But you know what? The stuff that I do, the stuff that I teach has been working for 25 years. So these guys will all be done in a couple of years, I'm sure, and I'll still be going. But it would be nice if we had a couple of hundred people so we could start, a little army. All right. On that note, maybe we all meet in Vegas in November and get to know each other personally. All right? Have a good weekend. Been a pleasure serving you and you. Be careful out there, y'all. You're late to the party, Gizmo. I'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend, brother. Later, boys. Later, girls. If anybody needs me, you know where to find me. And again, I'm the only guy that works Saturday mornings for my people. If you're not getting this, just call me and I'll spend a couple hours with you on a Saturday. A Saturday. All right. Later. There it is. Anger is an energy. It's the part I was waiting for.